Superspreader events coming to your neighborhood September 29th. Beware. Actually, there's nothing to beware about. Feucht, who is a well-known worship leader who went around during the COVID lockdowns and put on worship events. They said they're protesting the lockdowns, they're doing worship events. They called it Let Us Worship. They were very successful in bringing people together. There was no rioting, no looting, no violence at these events. There was just worship, which was great. There was a little bit of oppression and police situations and things like that, and lots of controversy. We actually, Creator Films, one of our board members, Doc Marinville, brought Feucht out to do a Let Us Worship event locally here, and it was a great event. Many people were delivered from bondage of drugs and alcohol and sexual, kind of things going on, and a whole number of people. And they did calls to receive Christ, and most of all, it was just an event that encouraged folks to look towards the eternal, look towards Christ in a time of uncertainty. And so we were blessed by this. I think that it's a very interesting thing. It's part of a movement of the church, section of the church kind of becoming more involved in pushing back against certain cultural forces. And they made a documentary about it. It's called Superspreader. It's coming to theaters September 29th. We feel like this would be an interesting thing to watch. I'm kind of curious to hear more of the story. And, Feucht is a guy just like anybody else, but I think for a time such as this, he rose up and stood against, forces that were trying to keep the church closed, keep people out of community. And no matter what intention was behind that, the result was isolation of people, separation, people from each other in that way. So division and closing of churches in mass, not just temporarily, but statistically, I can't remember the specific study, but something like a third of churches closed their doors since COVID, just completely. And somewhere around a fifth, or maybe it was a fifth of the churches and a third of participants, they weren't attending anymore. And, we can look at those kind of statistics and we can say, oh, this was this or this was that. But to me, I look at that and this is a demonic attack. This is an attack against the people of God. It's an attack against faith. It's an attack whether it be intentional from politicians or not, it doesn't matter, because as Christians, we believe in a supernatural. We believe in an opposition that's trying to accomplish these things. So it's interesting to me to think about being able to have an inside look at the experience that Sean went through as they were putting on these concerts, the movement of the Spirit that happened in them, and just to go in with an open mind to see what God is doing. Because in a day when there is so much, all we have to do is look at the news and see there's so much darkness going on. There's so much anger and just lies and deception going on. There's so much abuse and violence and just frustration that it's refreshing to me to think, God is moving in the midst of this. And He's cleansing, and He's refocusing, and He's refining, and He's delivering people. And this was something that all of that happened in. So like, subscribe, share. We're going to put a link down in the lower section here below the screen where there's words on where you can find tickets to see the movie, see if it's in a theater near you September 29th. We encourage you to go out and see it, find out what the Spirit was doing, support the filmmakers so that more Christian media can get out there, and comment below. Let us know what you think. We will see you next time.